Hi there, I'm Melanie Seneviratne, Fractional COO. Welcome back to our Building High Performing Teams in Law Firm series. I'm joined again today by Shama, an HR and culture specialist. Today we're going to talk about toxic work environments, why they happen, how they hurt your practice, and what you can do to create a positive workplace that retains talent and drives results. I definitely understand this topic very well.
Thanks, Melanie. I'm excited to be here. A toxic work environment destroys efficiency, morale, and client experience. But it doesn't have to be that way. With the right systems and mindset, it's entirely preventable.
So, one of the major issues that we see is staff not taking responsibility for outcomes. Why do you think this happens?
Taking responsibility should be an empowering experience where staff can feel that they did the job well and fulfill the expectations of the firm they work for. But taking responsibility is often a risk in a toxic work environment. In workplaces that are toxic, the discourse is not about the quality or process of the work. It's more about blaming someone for something rather than a mutual understanding of what needs to be done. In such cases, staff learn to protect themselves by not owning their own behavior or performance and blame someone else so they don't come under fire. Sadly, the person that suffers from this is the customer, since their experience with the firm is only mediocre rather than the stellar one that it could be. For the lawyers, they often feel that the only way they can exert control over this negative work environment is to micromanage. We all know the pitfalls of that.
Totally get that. So, many lawyers find themselves managing a staff as a negative experience. So, what do you think contributes to this?
If clear expectations are not communicated, lawyers can't hold their staff accountable. It ends up being much more difficult to manage performance since no one is on the same page. Every management conversation is stressful and more often than not does not resolve the actual issues. They just perpetuate negativity. For the lawyer, it feels like they are constantly putting out fires instead of focusing on legal work, reinforcing the attitude that delegation is just not worth it. The truth is that effective performance management is a learned art, not something that most people just figure out. Lawyers have legal training, not people management training. All the more reason to get some help with this.
It's so common amongst many business professionals, not just lawyers. So, high employee turnover is another red flag. So, how do you think a toxic environment causes this?
So, staff can thrive in a demanding work environment so long as they feel supported to do their best work. This speaks to the need to feel part of something and to be accepted. This is a human this is a universal human need. If someone consistently has a negative experience and their needs are not met, they will eventually leave. In a toxic work environment, staff turnover is usually higher than normal, costing the firm both financially as well as internal stability. Ultimately, client experience suffers, leading to loss of reputation and revenue.
So, the $1 million question: how can lawyers start creating a positive work environment?
That is a really good question. So, when it comes to positive work environments, the very first thing that must be established is what we call psychological safety. Psychological safety basically means that the person is not afraid to be themselves and feel empowered to do their best work. It also means that they are supported as a whole person, not just as a worker. This safety forms the bedrock of a firm's culture and leads to staff doing their best work, which in turn makes the firm more successful. I think it needs to be said that this concept has been traditionally, I should say, has not been traditionally part of the legal profession, as adversity is a big part of the job.
Yeah.
However, there is a place for all of the players to each have a level of comfort and be insulated from the negativity that comes from these adversarial situations. That means regular conversations about negative events and experiences and debriefing about them in a safe way. It also means having accountability in spite of the difficult nature of the work.
So, What role does performance objectives and feedback play?
One of the best ways to make a workplace or any job effective is to be clear about what is required and to give regular feedback on how things are going. This shows that you are interested in the employee as well as don't leave anything up to chance or guesswork. Your intentional interaction in this way leads to predictability for the employee and less stress for you. Again, these two-way conversations are an art to be learned, not something that just comes easily to a lot of people. I cannot stress this enough. Get some help and guidance with how to be good at performance management, particularly if you are not getting the results you want from your staff.
So, following on that, how do HR systems help to maintain a positive environment?
HR systems present a ready made foundation on which to build a positive environment. As I mentioned previously, predictability is an important part of a safe workplace. Things like policies and employee handbooks make a statement of how a company treats its people. Moreover, if these translate into constructive processes that lead to improvement through genuine support, the HR systems are the basis on which environments become positive. As well, these systems help to reduce and prevent things like resentment, favoritism, or confusion, all things that are part of regular human interaction. Finally, these systems create space for structured and proactive growth, which would be chaotic and reactive otherwise.
Absolutely true. So, toxic work environment isn't just bad for staff, it impacts workflow, client experience, and the growth of your practice. Create safety, clarity, and structure with clear feedback, performance objectives, and HR systems. This is Shama's expertise. She can help you implement these systems so your firm can become a place where people thrive, take ownership, and produce excellent results. So, thank you again, Shama, for joining me today and sharing your insights.
Thanks, Melanie. Remember, creating a positive workplace is an ongoing process. With clear expectations, the right systems, and ongoing support, you can turn a negative culture into a high performing and profitable powerhouse.